going on, everybody? This is Jacob Shoup. You watch the Tom O'Brien Show. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Man, another kind of down day, right? We started with a big dump in the morning, kind of come back up a little bit, and the weakness just kind of persisted. Mainly looking at SPX, looking at Tesla. This is a great example, making new recent lows, trading right below 300. You're trading at 290. You touched below 290 for a little bit. I think you had a low today of 289. Yeah, 288.88. Okay, and you bounce off that. You come back up. This is kind of how you're looking at it, right? If your portfolio is getting eviscerated right now, mine has definitely not been doing fantastic. Now, of course, I had a lot of options out there, and that kind of had a wrench thrown in it. But there are also some ways that it's doing very well, right? And the stocks that are doing poorly are mainly these really rapid momentum growth stocks, right? And so if you're red the entire way through, it might be time to kind of sit there and reevaluate what you're invested in, why you're invested in it, and maybe kind of pivot. The Chinese stocks have been doing quite well. Nebius is actually doing okay today, which is a little bit strange. Looking at Rheinmetall, that's off a little bit today, but still floating up some, right? We're not off really that much. Baba doing another massive move. I say massive, looking at the rest of the kind of market here, you're up 3.55%. Again, wouldn't call that necessarily massive, but it's just nice having some kind of green in the portfolio. Man, there's a lot to talk about today. We actually are going to be joined by Basil Chapman, which is fantastic. We're going to have him on in the second segment. Let's take a look at what we got going on right now. You got the SPY off about 0.15% at 593. You got the composite flipping red there, up about 0.08% at 19,011. Broadcom is actually, in NVIDIA, Broadcom, all doing very well. Let's see what we're doing today. Broadcom is up almost 4%. I'm still, regardless of what NVIDIA does, Broadcom is going to, again, I believe, continue getting orders, right? Because they're going to have these specialized ASICs, and that's going to be very necessary to run AI. We're getting a little bit of an insight as well how AI might start getting applied here sooner rather than later. Of course, with Amazon, they're looking to dump a bunch of money into automating their warehouses. We can look at some robotics companies. I was talking about that a little bit in the den. You have Meta's glasses with Ray-Ban have done unbelievably well. Soared 210% year over year in 2024. Mainly driven, this is just smart glasses in general, but mainly driven by Ray-Ban and the Meta crossover, which is pretty insane. These do have NPUs, which is crazy, and data processing units. These are pretty high-tech little guys here. So that's something kind of interesting to see. And then I could definitely see the application in automation of warehouses, right? And you're talking about companies that are spending, Amazon is really the one that benefits a lot from this, right? It's such a large CapEx, cutting costs in the warehouse is massive. You look at things like RDCM. When you're thinking warehouse as well, seriously, start thinking about AIoT, right? I think that is massive. That's artificial intelligence, Internet of Things. RDCM apparently has a native kind of anomaly detection system on their SCADA systems, which I think is massive. We're looking at SYM. Electronics is interesting. I think they have at least they have the potential to get exposure in this realm. We were speaking about these guys for a while ago. And nothing's really happened except, what you would say is a just consistent downdraft in it. So this is something I want to take a look at a little bit closer going forward to see if they're going to be able to capitalize on that market. Of course, Euro defense is massive. We're looking at EUAD. This has done very well recently, trading right now at $29.36, kind of flat as it stands right now, but it was up a little bit earlier today. Let's see. Of course, Rolls-Royce is getting a lot of attention as well. Which surprisingly, is not surprisingly. If you know, but very big defense stock. Not just the cars, right? Big on engines, of course, for jets. So this is massive, at least if you're looking to get exposure in European defense. Trading up 1.39% at 805. Even with you know, we're gonna do the NVIDIA stream today, by the way. Okay, so after this show, I gotta get some stuff set up, but I'm gonna hop on my laptop here, and we'll be definitely trying to stream to YouTube, definitely in the den on Discord. So get in there if you're not in there yet. You can do that again by going to tfnn.com/services. It's right up there on the top row. You have NVIDIA actually trading up 2.27%. You know, does this save the market? I mean, you're looking at it, right? There's obviously some bullish kind of opinion on NVIDIA here if you're trading up 2.29%, but you're still seeing that major sell-off in these hyper-growth stocks, right? And again, traversing back to those November levels, a little bit around from when Trump won. Again, I think you still have a little bit more to go, definitely in Tesla. I'm eyeing 250 for Tesla. Of course, we had those in May, the puts. You're trading off 4.31% at 289.77. On that same kind of realm, let's look at SMCI. So it's interesting that this is so suppressed, right? So you kind of have this bullish, you say, Jacob, it's up 11.79%. This had every reason to go way higher than this after actually reporting the 10K, actually publishing the 10K. We're going to talk about, you know, if you read Twitter, this is kind of my issue sometimes with these perma bulls in retail. I mean, the numbers were not horrible, right? But keep in mind, these guys just got a bunch of debt to continue operations, low margin, and we'll read through a little bit of their 10K after we have Basil on. They acknowledge there are vast deficiencies in their accounting system, and they have taken no actions in remediating those as of now. Now, everyone's like, oh, well, they're hiring for positions now. That is still freaky, you know? The fact that NVIDIA's up today, I think people are a little bit bullish on it. The fact that SMC is not running a little bit higher gives me some pause on this equity. Now, we were long, we closed out of those 37 strike calls. I did have some puts just to see what happened. Those are most likely going to expire worthless. That's fine because we're still green overall, but you're trading up right now 11.67%. And I mean, this was 58.28. You've come all the way down to $50 right now. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back with Basil Chapman.